Good evening, students. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the shift registers. What is mean by registers first? Okay, register is nothing but a group of flip-flops. Group of flip-flops. So we know already what is a flip-flop. Flip-flop is nothing but a single bit memory storage unit. Single bit memory storage unit. So a group of flip-flops based on our requirement. If we want to store a nibble, if we want to store a word, or if we want to store a byte, accordingly the flip-flops can be grouped. Okay, if you want to store a nibble, we need 4 flip-flops such that it can store either 0 or 1. Okay, so that is the register. Register can be used for can be classified as 2 different types. One is shift register and another one is storage register. Storage register is used to store the data. Shift register, with the given data, it is used to shift the given data by using your shift register. Either it is with the given data, you can shift the given data either right or left by using your shift register. Accordingly, your shift registers are classified into serial input, serial output shift register, that is said to be SISO. Serial input, parallel output shift register, that is said to be SIPO. Parallel input, parallel output, that is said to be PIPO. And parallel input, serial output, that is said to be PISO. As I said already, registers is nothing but a group of flip-flop used to store the data, and it can be shift register or storage register. And this is a general diagram, block diagram of shift register. So if you look here, all the 4 types of shift registers are given in this block diagram. So look ahead with the D and Q, where D is a serial data input and Q is a serial data output. The direction of your data bit movement, it's a shift register. So from left to right it is moving. Okay, it is shifting right by 1 bit position. Accordingly, it's a sequential circuit. Depending upon the clock that you are giving, how many clock pulses you are giving, accordingly your pulses will be shifted. Okay, so if I am giving 4 bit, so it is a 4 bit register, or I can say it is we will be using 4 flip-flop for storing the 4 bits. And if I am giving 4 more clock pulse, okay, whichever I have given inside in D, that will be entirely moved out, all the 4 bits, namely if I am giving 1, 1, 1, 1, okay, 4 ones. For the first clock pulse, whichever given, the first least significant bit, namely 1, that is given, that will be moved to your first flip-flop. And for the second clock pulse, the first bit whichever moved here will be moved to the next flip-flop, and the next least significant bit, again the 1, will be moved to the first flip-flop. Accordingly, with the 4 clock pulses, consecutive 4 clock pulses, 1 will be stored in the first flip-flop, 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here. So 4 ones will be stored in your 4 flip-flop. And in the consecutive next 4 consecutive clocks, you will be getting out your all the 4 ones in your serial data output. So for getting all the data whichever is fed in, that is the 4 bit, we need 8 clock pulses to receive the 4 bits here. That is said to be your serial data input and serial data output, which is nothing but SISO. Okay, serial input, serial output, shift register. The direction of movement of your bits will be from left to right. And the next thing is serial input and parallel output. Serial input, parallel output. So in your serial data input, okay, so as I said earlier, if I am giving 1, 1, 1, 1, okay, so during your first clock pulse, so you will be giving clock pulse also. All the 4 flip-flops, these are all 4 flip-flops. all the 4 flip-flops will be connected to a clock, will be synchronized to a clock. Okay, either it may be an edge triggered clock or it may be a level triggered clock, whatever. So if I am giving 4 bit input 1 1 1 1 during the first clock pulse, that first least significant bit 1 will be moved here. Okay, and during your next clock pulse, and keep in mind the output of the first flip-flop will be connected as input to the second flip-flop. And mostly for shift register, you will be using D flip-flop. D flip-flop is otherwise said to be delay flip-flop. Why we are using D flip-flop? D flip-flop is the only flip-flop which won't change the content. It will delay the given content and it will give your output. Whatever input that we are giving, it will delay for a certain number of time accordingly, whichever it is decided by the user. And the same output you will be getting at the output. And the same whichever you are feeding in the input, you will be getting at the output. Okay, hence it is said to be delayed flip-flop. So we will be connecting 4 flip-flops in the daisy chain manner. Okay, daisy chain manner in the sense output of one flip-flop will be connected to the input of other. For example, if this is your D flip-flop and this is your output Q, let it be D1, the first flip-flop, the output of the first flip-flop will be connected to your input of the second flip-flop. So the connection will be like this. The connection will be like this. All the flip-flops will be having a clock. It is a synchronous circuit. So it will be synchronized with a common clock. So whatever clock pulses, the train of pulses, you will be giving it as a clock. Either it may be a edge triggered flip-flop or it can be a level triggered flip-flop. Either it may be a positive edge triggered or negative edge triggered. So sometimes in our discussion I may discuss about the negative edge trigger, and in some cases I may discuss about your positive edge trigger also. So meaning if I am giving an input 1, so 4 bits of input, so this is for flip-flop number 1 and this is, let it be, instead of 1 2 I will be writing it as A, B, C, D are 4 flip-flops DA, DB, DC and DD. Okay. So in such a way it will be connected, the output of one flip-flop will be connected to the input of the another flip-flop. During your first clock pulse, your first least significant bit will be moved inside your D flip-flop, will be stored inside your flip-flop. During your second clock pulse, so the second bit will be moved here. Okay, the second bit, so 0th bit, the first bit. Okay, the second bit, accordingly for us, when you count in decimal, this is the first bit, this is the second bit. So the second bit will be moved to the first flip-flop and the first bit will be moved to the second flip-flop. Accordingly, in 4 consecutive clock pulse, you will be having 4 ones in your flip-flop, 4 ones in your flip-flop. And during your next 4 consecutive clock pulse, so meaning your 5th clock pulse, this 1 will be appearing in your Q, and during your 6th clock pulse, next one will be coming out, and during the 7th clock pulse, next one will be coming out. During the 8th clock pulse, next one will be coming out. This is in case of your serial data input and serial data output. So where you will be giving 4 bits of input, you will be receiving 4 bits of input output serially, but it will take 8 clock pulse for receiving the whole set of data, that whichever we are giving inside. Whereas in case of your serial data input and parallel data output, so though we need 4 clock pulses for getting inside the data, okay, getting the data inside of all the flip-flops, we need 4 clock pulses. If I am giving 1 1 1 1, in 4 consecutive clock pulses, 4 bits of 1 will be saved in your flip-flop, and here I am going to take the output. Okay, here I am going to take the output. So if I am going to take the output here, okay, so we know that in 4 consecutive clock pulses, your 1 will be saved here, 1 will be saved here, 1 will be saved here and 1 will be saved here. And in the 4 consecutive pulses, see it's a delay flip-flop, however this one is going to appear here too. So here you have a 1, here you have a 1, here you have a 1, here you have a 1. If I tie a knot here, if I am tying a wire here and if I am taking the output at this point of time, within floor at the end of 4th clock pulse itself, I will be getting 4 ones over here. Okay, 4 ones over here as the output. That is said to be serial data input and parallel data output. Parallel data output. So we need only 4 clock pulses for getting the output in case of SIPO. Okay. So the number of clock pulses is getting reduced here. The number of clock pulses is getting reduced here. So in serial data and parallel data, serial data input and parallel data output, your direction of your data movement will be from this side to this side, from this side to this. And hence, the next type of shift register that we are going to discuss is serial data input and parallel data input that we have discussed, parallel data output that we have discussed. Next one is parallel input and serial output. Okay, parallel data input and serial output. So parallel data input and your serial output is nothing but, okay, here you are going to give the input, here you are going to give the input, namely your D0, D1, D2, D3, you are going to give the input. Okay, that happens at the first clock pulse itself. In the first clock pulse itself, you will be giving the data. Okay, you will be giving the data. So here 1, 2, 3 and 4, 4 bits of data. Let it be 1, 1, 1, 1. During a single clock pulse itself, all 4 data, because it's parallel, right? During the first clock pulse itself, you will be getting 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here. And as the input, and in the successive clock pulse, in the consecutive clock pulse or in the successive clock pulse, you will be getting your output here. Okay, so the direction will be like this, whereas from here to here. Okay, and for serial data input and parallel data output, you will be having like this. Your data movement will be like this. Okay, so the next consecutive clock pulse. So here also in 4 consecutive clock pulse, you will be getting your serial output 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, serial output 1, 1, 1, 1 in case of parallel input, serial output case, this case. Okay, and within a single clock pulse, you can give the data in and you can get the data out in case of PIPO. Okay, parallel input and parallel output. Okay, this parallel input, parallel output register, shift register is otherwise said to be storage register. Okay, for the rest all the 3 you will be saving the data. For all the 3 registers you will be shifting the data. Only in case of PIPO, namely your parallel input and parallel output case, you will be storing the data. Okay, you are not going to shift, you are going to whatever input that you are giving, the same output without any shift you are getting it here. Okay, so as a conclusion, we can say the shift register is nothing but a sequential device that loads the data present on its input terminals and then moves or shifts the data to its output once for every clock cycle, and hence it is called as a shift register. And applications, it can be used for data storage, as I said, it can be used as a storage register and for the movement of data. And it can be used inside calculators, computers to store the data. And computers we need in terms of binary, right? Either zeros and ones we will be saving the data, and in the same way we will process the data in terms of binary. For example, if you want to add, if you want to subtract, all that we need is we are going to store the data in the binary form or in zeros and one form by using your registers. Okay, so these are the general applications. And I discussed about these types of shift registers already. You have SIPO, SISO, PISO and PIPO shift registers. So the coming register that whichever is given in the picture is nothing but 4-bit serial in, serial out shift register. Serial in, serial out shift register. So if I say 4-bit serial in, serial out, we need 4 flip-flops, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we are naming it as A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. So for example, if I need to give this data 0, 1, 0, 1, otherwise it is said to be 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, continuously we are going to give 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, like this 1, 0, 1. Okay, 1, 0, 1, 0. Assume that with the first data 1, 0, 1, 0 has to be given to this SISO register, shift register. So the first bit that is going to be given in is 0. First it is 0. Okay, you are going to give 0. So at the end of your first clock pulse, you will be having a train of pulses appearing in the clock. So let it be a negative edge triggered clock. So I am giving input here before this clock pulse. So during the first clock pulse, this data 0 will be transferred here as 0. Okay, will be transferred here as 0. And since the output of one flip flop is connected to the input of the other, so when during your first clock pulse, this 0 will be shifted. This 0 will be shifted and 0 will be appearing in your QA. Okay. So this is your next clock pulse. Okay. This is your first clock pulse. This is your second clock pulse. So QA is 0 now. Okay. QA is 0 now. During your first clock pulse, your QA is 0. Instead of negative edge triggered, I can even take positive edge triggered also. So during during your first clock pulse, however, this is going to be 0, and during your next clock pulse, when during your second clock pulse, the second bit 1 will appear here. Okay, the second bit 1 will appear here. This 0 will appear as input for the second flip flop. So this will be coming here as output as 0, and this one will be coming here as output as 1. So this is QB. QB will be 0 here, whereas QA will be high during your second clock pulse. And again, so your data is 1010. So for the third clock pulse, your QA will be 0, and fourth clock pulse QA will be 1. So again this QB will be shifted one clock pulse only, right? So here one clock pulse after shifting 0, 1, 0, 1. It will be like this. And similarly QC, you will be getting like that. So here your clock pulses. So your data that we are going to give in is your 1010. That is what we have discussed. So now, 1010. So during your fourth clock pulse, your 0 will appear. So now here you have a high, you have a low here. Here you have a high, you have a low. Okay, so it is 1010. Okay, whereas for your QB, this high will appear after one clock pulse. 1, 0, 1, 0. QC, you have to shift. After 2 clock pulses only, you have an input. It is again 1, 0, 1, 0. In QC, after 3, meaning the fourth clock pulse, you will be getting your 1, 0, 1. I am approximately drawing, and you can synchronize with respect to clock. Okay. And this is how your QD, you will have at the end of the 8th clock pulse, your 0 will appear in the 8th clock pulse. Okay. No, 4th clock pulse. In the 4th clock pulse, you will be getting your 0 in QD. Okay. If your entire 1010 has to appear, you need to wait for another 3 more clock pulses. So entirely you need 8 clock pulses to get the entire data out from your QD, namely 1010. QD is nothing but your output of your fourth flip flop. Okay, we need totally 8 clock pulses. That is your serial bit, serial input serial output shift register, 4-bit. So this is how I have written the table also. So we know during your first clock pulse, you have input to be high. Now if I want 1010, so this will be 0, and other input will also be 0. I mean, I'm saying about the output. And for your second clock pulse, this 0 will be here, Q, and this will be high, and during your and this will be 0 0, and during your third clock pulse 0 1 0 0, fourth clock pulse it is 1 0 1 0. This is the actual data now that is fed in the flip-flops. Now your input is all fed with 1 0 1 0. That is how you need to imagine. And for the fifth clock pulse, we will be having 0 1 over here, 0 over here, 1 over here, and output from this, whichever is appearing is 0 here. So 0 0 1 0, and here you will be getting 1 0, and 7th and 8th clock pulse will be getting 0 0 0 1 and 0 0 0 0. So now here it will be 0 1 0, and here it will be 1 0 1 0. So at the end of 8th clock pulse, the entire 4 bits of data we can receive one after the other. Okay, this is regarding your SISO shift register. So the next type of shift register is SIPO, which is nothing but serial in parallel out shift register. Serial in parallel out shift register. So again let us give the same data 1010, the 4-bit data for the 4-bit flip-flop. So here we need 4 flip-flops that can be used for storing the 4 bits 1010. Okay, serial input, and all the clocks are tied together. All the clear signals are given and tied together. So if you are giving a clear high, all the flip-flops will be clear, and if I am giving a clock, and all are synchronized with respect to the clock. So this bits, this 4-bit 1010 will be appearing as the input. Okay. So during the first clock pulse, as I said, so first 0 will be moved here. Okay. During the second clock pulse, this 0 will be moved here and 1 will be moved here. Okay. The second bit is 1, right? And during the third clock pulse, this will be 0, this will be 1, and this will be 0. Okay. During the fourth clock pulse, this will be 1, this will be 0, and this will be 1, and this will be 0. So at the end of fourth clock pulse, all your inputs will be saved inside your flip-flops A, B, C, D. Okay, and see here, the output, as I said already, the output of one flip-flop will be connected to the input of the other. Here I am going to take the output of your register. From this point, we are going to take a wire, and we are going to take the output, namely QA, QB, QC, QD. So at the end of fourth clock pulse itself, it's a D flip-flop, the delay flip-flop, whatever input that we are giving, the same input that will appear at the output, So at the end of fourth clock pulse, you will be having 1 over here, 0 over here, 1 over here, and 0 over here in case of SIPO. Whereas in SISO, we need 8 clock pulse for getting your output 1010. Whereas in SIPO, at the end of fourth clock pulse itself, we can collect the data 1010 from the respective wires. Okay, this is your data movement will be like this. Okay, this from this direction to this direction, and I will be taking it parallelly out. Okay, I will be taking parallelly out. So this is said to be serial input, parallel output. The number of clock pulses is being reduced here. Okay. So here, look here, see, instead of getting the data, instead of making the data, simply we are making it to be high. You are getting high. For example, if I am taking instead of 1010, if I am taking, let me assume that let me take 1111. Okay, at the end of the first clock pulse you have 1 here, second clock pulse 1 here, third clock pulse 1 here, fourth clock pulse 1 here. So your data will be collected as QA, QB, QC, QD at the respective wires. So at the end of your first clock pulse you have 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here. All the data, namely 1, 1, 1, 1 will be connected here. Or in otherwise I can say, if my data input is 1010, instead of saying 0, 1, 0, 1, I can say that if I am getting output, I am representing the table as high. That's all. Okay. And similarly in the timing diagram also, if I am getting output, I am representing the the timing diagram, I am representing it as high. It may be either 1010 or it may be the data 1111 or it can be the data 1110. Okay. This is about your serial and parallel out shift register. Okay, so far we have discussed what is a register. Register is nothing but we are going to store bits of data inside it by using flip-flop. It's a collection of flip-flop. You are going to connect the flip-flop in the daisy chain manner such that the output of one flip-flop will be connected to the input of the other. You have 4 different types of shift registers. SISO, SIPO, PIPO and PISO. Okay. And I have explained about SISO and SIPO in this session. With this, I stop today. Thank you.